What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on uh what I think is not a myth that's going around that LeBron James ruined the dunk contest, right? And in my opinion, and I'm not even a LeBron James fan, I just really tell it like it is. And I think that I don't think LeBron James ruined the dunk contest. I like could LeBron James have participated once or twice? I think it would have been good for basketball if he did. But if you look at LeBron James' game and you look at like he's more of a power dunker than he is like somebody who he's not fancy when he dunk. He's just a power dunker, right? Remind me of like Karl Malone. When he dunk, he don't nothing fancy about his dunk. He gets up really high. Well, he used to get up like really high, and that was that. But he was not somebody who was like had any flair to his dunk like Dominique or or Mike or Kobe or these two guys right here like Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine, right? But I think what it was, in my opinion, I think that the NBA really ruined the dunk contest because if you think about it, remember when Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins was in the dunk contest? I think this was the one that was in Chicago with Michael Jordan and Dominique, right? And everybody, most of the people I know thought that Dominique won that dunk contest. But because the league was and I'm a Michael Jordan fan, but because the league was like, they was trying to promote and pump up Michael Jordan, they gave it to Michael Jordan instead of Dominique. Which most people who watched that, I don't know I can't remember if it was 84 or 85. But most people say that Dominique won that dunk contest. Now Mike had some really nice dunks. And Dominique had some excellent dunks in there, right? But they gave it to Mike because the All-Star game was in Chicago and everybody, pumping up Mike. So all right, that was it. Now that didn't really, when they did it back then, it didn't really hurt the league, right? Because Mike and Dominique, they didn't really dwell on it or anything. They just went back to, it was what it was. They went back to playing basketball like they did, and it didn't hurt the league. So fast forward to 2016 when you had these two guys, Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine. Now, both of these guys in that dunk contest, man, both of these guys really put on a show. Right. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show somebody. I'm gonna show these dunks. Hopefully I don't get flagged. But both of these guys, man, put on a show in that dunk contest. And most of the people looking at this dunk contest thought that Aaron Gordon won it. I mean, Aaron Gordon, man, that was a nice dunk right there. What he did, that was Zach Levine. That was really nice. I think he glid from like the free throw line. This right here, this is Aaron Gordon again. That was crazy. I mean, like, it's 2016, 10 years ago, right? And remember, LeBron James been in the league since what, 2003? This right here was mad. That was crazy. That was crazy. I never seen anybody do anything like that, before he did this. He jumped over put the ball under his legs and then dunked it with his left hand. And so, like the guy who's featuring this dunk contest, who you watch at the top, he said that Aaron Gordon should have done his best dunks in the beginning of this contest, right? I mean, he should have done them at the end. I don't think that really matters, man, because when you see the dunks that this guy did, Aaron Gordon, man, um, it just was it was crazy the dunks he did. I mean, people was like this. In my opinion, I think this was like one of the best. Some people say it was the best. I like the one with Mike and Dominique, like the first one with Mike and Dominique. Y'all may not be able to remember Julius Irvin when he was in the dunk contest. So I like that one. But yeah, this Aaron Gordon, in my opinion, he won it, right? But they gave it to Zach Levine. And so what did that do when they gave it to Zach Levine? it kind of turned people off, right? So Zach Levine, and it kind of turned people off. Like anybody who was watching the dunk contest from then on, Aaron Gordon didn't even participate anymore, right? And so if the NBA wanted to, when they played politics this time, it backfired on them. And the guy and people just stopped. They was like, look, man, if I go out and I participate and I do these dunks and stuff, they're gonna still give it to who they want to give it to. So after that, people just stopped really getting excited about the dunk contest and wanting to participate. This was in 2016, 10 years ago. Like I said, LeBron James was in the league at what? He came in 03, right? This was 13 years after LeBron James had got to the league. So no way in the world, if you have a dunk contest that people, that put on this kind of show, that you can say LeBron James ruined it. Michael Jordan, I think he participated, I think in 3. He didn't participate every year after that because, he got older. And there was guys coming in after him who participated. Kobe participated after Mike. A lot of guys. You had Sean Kemp. I mean, it was like within your first couple years in the league, most people did participate. But if LeBron James had participated, say like in 04 or 05 or even 06, that would have been cool. But now you talking about 13 years after he got into the league. I just don't think it's true that LeBron James ruined the NBA dunk contest. I think when they play politics with this and they pick somebody who didn't win, it turned off, it just turned people off. And the guys who are known to be showing off high flyers in the league, they was like, man, I'm not gonna go out there and participate and all this stuff, and then they give it to who they want to give it to. Like I said, Zach Levine, I think what would have been better for the league is if Zach Levine put on the show that he put on and he comes in second place, that would have been more motivation for Zach Levine to come back the next year and be more creative and beat Aaron Gordon. So you would have got like you would have got a rematch out of it. Now just imagine in 2017, you get a rematch of this. But Aaron Gordon was like, man, the hell with this. I'm not participating. That's it. Everybody saw those dunks that Aaron Gordon did, man, were just crazy. Like I said, I never seen anybody do any dunk like that until he did it. Right. And then all of a sudden, then you see kids on YouTube trying it and stuff like that. But that's where the NBA messed up. They had an opportunity to build on what Aaron Gordon just did. That would have caused, even if Zach Levine said, man, I'm not participating, people would have wanted to see Aaron Gordon again. And so if you see Aaron Gordon again, if he come back, then somebody say, oh man, I gotta really up my game because Aaron Gordon is on top of things. And so the NBA messed it up. They missed the opportunity to build on what Aaron Gordon gave to them on a silver platter. I think Zach Levine probably would have came back. But if you look at these dunks, man, Zach Levine, like I said, he put on a show. And like Charles Barkley said, both of these guys raised the level so high that you had to really be on top of your game if you wanted to come behind them. But neither one of those guys, I know Aaron Gordon didn't participate after that. And because he probably was like, if they're not gonna play fair, I'm not even gonna participate. But the NBA, in my opinion, missed a really good chance, man, to build on what Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine did. But sometimes, you have the powers to be in the NBA. They want to play, they want to play favorites, or they want to play, political games, and this bit them in the back. It just bit them. They dropped the ball on this. If Aaron Gordon gets that NBA championship, I guarantee there's going to be a rematch between Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine, and anybody who wanted to get in this dunk contest with those two guys, would have known that you gonna have to bring it. You're gonna have to bring it. And so that was the NBA who messed that up. It wasn't, in my opinion, it just wasn't LeBron James. Like I said, could LeBron James have participated in the dunk contest? Yeah, he could have. But remember, LeBron James by this time he had already been in the league 13 years. Right. Am I let me see. Yeah, about 13 years. I think he had been, because this was 2016. And yeah, yep. So he been in this league 23 years, right? That was 13 years in, 10 years ago. So yeah, man, the NBA, they the one who dropped the ball on this, but Stephen A. Smith is putting it out there that it was LeBron James when it wasn't LeBron James. It was the NBA. They dropped the ball on this one. So that's my take on it. Um, Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'll check you all out on the next video. Peace.